The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Kevin, if you would, open us up with a statement about year one as OC, year three with the program, and what the offense looks like.
All right, good deal. Well, again, I'd like to echo what Coach Clowney did here for everybody who came out today. We appreciate all the efforts that everybody makes to give some publicity to our players and to our staff and our program here. It's been a championship program for a long time. I'm incredibly honored that Coach Clowney has hired me to come back to Carson-Newman, and going into my third year here. You have some experience in the program, and it's good to be back in a program that you know something about. And I know Coach mentioned that about the quarterbacks that have been here now for a couple of years that are competing for the job. It's good to be back here and to put God in the middle of the staff table and to keep God in the middle of all of our meetings and all of our coaching here at Carson-Newman. It's fired up to be here, and man, I have been so impressed with our offensive players. They are an incredible group of young men. They have worked incredibly hard here over the past couple of weeks to get a new offensive scheme installed. You always like to have 3 to 4 to 5 months to get that going. We don't have that luxury right now. So our guys have turned up their level of intensity, their urgency. They've learned. And we're looking forward to getting started in the season here, obviously 8 days from tonight, and looking forward to seeing how well our kids can go execute and looking for them to know what to do and to play fast and aggressive. That's been our identity here for training camp.
Questions for Coach McKeethan?
What has been one of the biggest struggles during this offseason, just in terms of the offensive system you're running?
Yeah, I think that, our biggest challenge is that we have, I just got here in June, so, we had, a large number of our players were able to be here for voluntary work in July, but we really haven't gotten started, here until August, officially. So that's the biggest challenge that we have faced. We've changed a lot of things. We tried to keep some things similar, but there's been a lot of new learning for them. So I think the biggest challenge is just them getting comfortable, and some of them I know because I was here before, so that's a comforting piece of that challenge. But it's been a good summer. It's been a good summer, and I think our biggest challenge has just been catching up because we didn't have the spring together.
Coach, you mentioned that kind of doing some things a little differently. I think that obviously, when Coach Turner and Coach Sparks, it was the computer veer. Then it was kind of a veer-ish. What are you going to be running?
Yeah, I tell you what, you want to sit in a chair and follow, Ken Sparks, Mike Turner, those guys. It's not a fun chair to be in. Man, they ran the ball as one of the best running offenses, rushing offenses in America for years and years and years, right? So, this school and this football program has been built on triple option football. We certainly will be that. That's something that I believe in, and we will certainly execute that piece of our plan. There's a lot of different ways that you can get to that, and we're looking forward to seeing how far our players can go with that. But we're certainly going to have an option base to what we do.
Bringing back some talented running backs there, and obviously if you're talking about the option, that's such a big part of it. You have 2 athletic quarterbacks too. But talk about your running back core there and what may be special about it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of depth at that position and a lot of experience there. I know Coach Clowney mentioned TC, Tyler Curtis already. We've got TJ King, we've got Tyree Nelson. Those guys are explosive. Jaden Sullins has been incredibly impressive in my time here already. We've got a young guy in Cameron Ferguson who's come in as a freshman and has really made his mark known here in August so far. So we've got some guys there. Vontae Brackett is a really, really good – he's got a good feel, for a lot of things at that position. So, we do some things, I think, with them schematically that's going to take advantage of them, and they've got a lot of explosiveness. So really fired up about those guys.
So you talk about the new wide receivers coming in. Braxton, Westfield, that's huge body physically and presence on the team to replace as far as the focus of the offense goes. Are these guys up to the challenge, you think?
Absolutely. Man, I've been so impressed with how hard they've worked. I mentioned a sense of urgency, a sense of taking advantage of an opportunity. There's going to be opportunities there, I believe, in the passing game. And, we've had guys come in, transfer Bryce Bevins has come in and he's looked very good. Coach Clowney mentioned Cade Meeks as a returner with some experience and some production. Jalen Washington is a returner who, honestly, the past, 4 to 5 days of practice, he's really shown up and had some production there. We've got a couple of younger guys, and also guys coming in as well. Jelon Newsom is a guy who's come in from Middle Tennessee and has shown some sparks there. Some guys that have got a little bit of punch. Amir Ali has come in and has made some plays as well. So we've got some guys who are stepping up. Jeremiah Carroll's a true freshman, much like Cam Ferguson coming to us from Georgia. There's some guys who are up for the challenge. I really believe that, and we look forward to getting him the ball.
Up front, offensive line. I mean, there's a lot of hardware and a lot of pictures. In the hall at the Hall of All-Americans down there. And
Mm-hmm.
guys that played O-line here had 2 straight Remington Award winners at center. I know that over the last few years, that's been the struggle. One of the struggles the team's had is about getting 5 healthy guys starting
Mm-hmm.
level out there at one time. What's that challenge been like for you?
First of all, I tip my hat to our offensive coaching staff. They have been great to work with schematically and just welcoming with open arms. That's Justin Zimmerman, Joe Ray, John Kreider, Leonard Weaver. It's been a great group to come in and work with. I tip my hat to specifically Coach Ray. Is coaching that group. He's done a really good job recruiting and building depth. I've been impressed with that. Now, obviously, the season comes and wear and tear happens. So, I do feel like we've got a group of guys who can fill in for each other. We've got a lot of oars on that depth chart, like everybody's mentioned. So we're working hard to be able to have guys in that position. But there's obviously such a tradition at Carson-Newman of running the football, playing offensive line. Got to be careful mentioning those Remington winners. Kevin Day, you got to be careful talking about him too much. But he was a great player here and a good friend of mine. But there's a great tradition there, and Coach Ray's worked incredibly hard to build that depth and to develop those skills.
Anything else for Coach McKeethan?
Can you wrap back around with how faith kind of helps you all get through kind of this really short time to get prepared? Can you just talk about how that really helps you all fortify your offensive?
Absolutely. Our theme is unshakable, and, God's unshakable. And that's really the only thing in this world, in this existence, that's not going to change. His word's going to stand forever. So we're just going to trust in that. We're going to trust in Him. And I think where that really comes into play is, you really get tested when it gets hard. It's not very cool out there right now. All the high school kids are dealing with that right now too, moving their game times and everything. So when it gets hard, that's when you really see where your trust and your faith lies. And our guys have, like Coach said, they've succeeded at that, and they've had some times where they've needed to improve from that. And we look forward to that. Those times, good and bad, will lead to us being stronger and more unshakable during the season.
Anything else?
Can you just talk a little bit more about how important it is to have so much depth on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, man. Football is it really is a game of attrition. I've always heard a good statement about depth is that it's about it's not necessarily about it's about availability, not necessarily ability. And part of being available is being healthy. We've got a great strength staff here. Coach Boschman, those guys have they worked them incredibly hard in their voluntary workouts this summer. So that gives you a chance to to run 2 or 3 units. And it gives you a chance to feel good about who's going to go in the game when somebody goes down. Hopefully nobody goes down, So on the higher side of that question is that you get competition. So there's all kinds of positives from having that depth, and our kids have been great with it.